Bonsai is a captivating art form that requires a bit of patience, dedication, and perhaps trial and error.
But some beginner mistakes can be prevented, and so we share some tips. The mistakes listed are not random topics. It's what we hear on our Bonsai forum on a daily basis and read in the comments of our YouTube videos.
And of course, we don't just list the mistakes, we also share how to avoid making them, so you get off to a good start. One of the most important decisions to make as a beginner at bonsai is to select the right tree species.
Each tree has specific care requirements, and not all species are suited for bonsai cultivation, especially for those just starting out. The mistake? Choosing a tree species that requires conditions that are difficult to replicate, such as tropical trees in temperate climates, or trees that need special winter protection. How to avoid it? Decide where you want to keep a bonsai first, and then select a tree species that can thrive in those conditions. If you are keen to keep it indoors year-round, for example, you'll need a subtropical species like ficus, jade, or cormona. If you want to keep it outdoors or on a balcony, your options are far greater and you can select junipers, maples, etc. Trying to keep a tree in a spot that is not suitable for it will weaken it in a few months' time.
Watering is the most important thing to do when you start with bonsai, but it's also one of the most difficult skills to master.
Trees need to be watered consistently, but they also need good drainage to avoid root rot. The mistake? Overwatering or underwatering is a common rookie mistake. Overwatering can cause the roots to rot in a few months' time, while underwatering can lead to dehydration and your bonsai dying in a matter of days. How to avoid it? Obviously, you'll need to learn how to properly assess the moisture levels of your bonsai soil. But even more important is selecting proper soil for your tree. We advise a very well draining mix of inorganic components, akadama, pumice and lava rock in equal parts. With this substrate mix you can't overwater, but you can still underwater. A good rule of thumb is to water the tree generously when the top layer of soil feels dry to the touch. Always ensure that your bonsai pot has drainage holes to allow excess water to escape.
The type of soil you use is very important for the health of your bonsai. A mistake that many beginners make is to use garden soil or garden compost, which really isn't very suitable for trees in small pots because it doesn't drain very well and the aeration in the soil is not very good either.
The mistake? Using the wrong soil mix. Potting compost or garden soil, for example, or not providing enough drainage in the pot. How to avoid it? Bonsai soil needs to be well draining, yet retain some moisture. A good mix usually includes ingredients like akadama, which is a type of fired clay from Japan, pumice, a volcanic rock that aids in drainage, and lava rock for aeration and moisture retention. Avoid using standard potting soil as it can compact over time and suffocate the roots. Ensure your bonsai pot has drainage holes to allow water to escape, which prevents root rot and fungal infections. You may also want to repot your bonsai every 1 to 3 years, depending on the species, to refresh the soil and inspect the roots. If you like this video, please help us by hitting the like button or subscribe to our channel.
Bonsai trees need regular pruning in order to maintain their shape but also to remain healthy. A mistake that beginners often make is to prune their trees only once a year, for example, leading to overgrown and very full trees that don't look very well.
The mistake? Neglecting regular pruning or cutting too much at once. How to avoid it? Develop a consistent pruning routine. Trim back new growth to maintain the desired shape, especially in spring and summer when the tree is actively growing. Regular pruning encourages the tree to develop a finer ramification and more dense foliage, which are essential for creating a mature bonsai appearance. And you can get some specialized bonsai tools or simply use standard pruning shears if you're on a budget. However, don't make the mistakes of pruning too aggressively. Over pruning can stress the tree and stunt its growth. Always prune just a little at a time and avoid cutting back too much of the tree at once. For most trees, aim to remove no more than a third of the foliage at any given time.
Fertilizing bonsai is another important thing to keep in mind, and this is all about keeping and finding a balance. You don't want to over-fertilize, which would lead to poor health in your trees, too much salt building up in the soil, or long leggy growth. It also depends very much on the soil type that you use. On the other hand, you don't want to under-fertilize either, because the trees will be nutrient deficient.
The mistake? Overfeeding or underfeeding the tree, resulting in poor health or imbalanced growth. How to avoid it? Bonsai trees need nutrients to grow, but they only require a small amount of fertilizer. Before we continue, however, we assume you are using proper bonsai substrate, as mentioned earlier. If you use organic matter, which holds far more nutrients, you risk over-fertilizing even more. Use a balanced, slow-release fertilizer or liquid feed every few weeks during the growing season. Typically that means spring to early fall. Be careful not to fertilize too heavily, follow the instructions on the fertilizer packaging, and avoid feeding during the dormant period, which is usually late fall to winter, when the tree is not actively growing. Different species may have specific fertilization needs, so do your research on the appropriate type and frequency of fertilization. If you select a bonsai fertilizer, like BioGold for example, you don't have to worry about anything if you stick to their guidelines.
Pests and diseases are an inevitable part of growing bonsai, especially when you keep trees indoors. You'll need to monitor your trees closely and look out for aphids or scale or spider mites, etc.
The mistake? Ignoring pest infestations or not addressing them early on. How to avoid it? Regularly inspect your bonsai for signs of pests, such as discolored or damaged leaves, webbing, or visible insects. If you notice pests, take action immediately. Neem oil, insecticidal soap, or strong stream of water can be effective for removing pests. Isolating a pest-infested tree from other plants is also good practice to prevent the spread of the problem. Prevention is key, so ensure that your bonsai are healthy and stress-free to reduce the likelihood of pest infestations. If the mild options don't work, you can consider purchasing a stronger solution from a local garden center.
And of course, bonsai care is influenced a lot by the seasons and your local climate. Trees need different things in different seasons.
For example, trees may require more water or light during certain times of the year, or need to be sheltered from frost during the winter. It all depends on the tree species and the spots available in your house or garden to keep them. The mistake? Not adjusting care routines based on the changing seasons. How to avoid it? Understand the specific seasonal requirements of your bonsai species. During the growing season, spring and summer, most trees will require more sunlight, water and fertilizer. In the fall and winter, as temperate trees enter dormancy, reduce watering and fertilizing. If you are growing your bonsai indoors, ensure that it still receives adequate light, and if growing it outdoors, protect it from extreme temperatures or frost. Some trees need little or no protection, whereas some other trees will benefit from the shelter of a cold frame, polytunnel or a greenhouse. By avoiding these common rookie mistakes, you can set yourself up for success and create a thriving bonsai tree.
Make sure you look up the specific care guidelines for whatever tree species you have, because they will really help improve the care for your bonsai.
With time, your bonsai will flourish and you'll develop a deeper understanding of this ancient art form. Happy growing! Learn how to create your own bonsai trees by enrolling in one of our online bonsai courses. We explain techniques like pruning, wiring and repotting, and you can ask questions to the teachers. For the curriculums and free lessons, go to bonsaiempire.com/courses.